I'm talking with city administrator about what we're going to do with that. But we will be looking at training in February. And the comprehensive plan will be going to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Should be taking it to them next week. If not, it will go in February. That one I want to make sure that there's plenty of notice for it. While their review is not a review to make changes, it is the actual codification of the document. Once that document's approved, we will be revisiting that document with our future land use map. And we'll be making updates to that map to show the new future land uses and categories that we have defined. That is going to take, I'm anticipating, several meetings here. The first one being an open meeting to get public comment. I know people are going to have some input on that, and I want to give them all a chance to speak. After a couple rounds of public comment, we will have probably a couple work sessions in between those public meetings, where we, as the Planning Commission and staff, will get to work together and get that map created. Then once the Planning Commission has made a recommendation on that map, it will go before the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and then once that gets approved, it will be part of our 2045 comprehensive plan. It will be a guiding document that we will use when we are reviewing potential future growth, annexations, and rezonings. And that is all of the comments that I have at this time.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to hear about the training. So our next item is approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes to make the agenda? And if not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries 4-0. Agenda is approved. Under old business, there is no old business, which brings us to new business. So the first item under subdivision plats is a proposed final plat to create 2 new lots of record located at 0 East Deckard Street. The applicant is Ryan Denby. Tax map and parcel numbers are included in our agenda package. Mr. Luthi?
Yeah, this item came before you 2 months ago for a recommendation in November for a rezoning. This parcel was originally zoned C2, but the surrounding parcels were all C3, and this one was intended to be a residence when it was originally subdivided. So this one got rezoned from C2 to C3, and this is before you again seeking a subdivision at this time. Some of these lots were single lots in the original subdivision. Some of them were double lots, or they were twice as wide as the neighboring ones. This one is one of those larger ones. The applicant is seeking to subdivide that into 2 lots to use both of those lots for a single-family residence.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions on this one, comments? Anybody want to hear from the applicant? I assume the applicant's here. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
No, I don't. Unless anybody's got a question, I just want to make sure you were here or not. All right. If there's no discussion on that, then let's go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was that an aye?
Well, yeah, I was going to well, I don't know if we had a motion.
Oh, you're right. We don't have a motion. I'm sorry. Go ahead and make the motion. I always forget.
Motion to approve.
I always forget the way the motion works in the Planning Commission. Yeah. So motion to approve.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
We normally end up having some discussion, so it was kind of quiet. So you're approved, sir. And then number 2 is a proposed final plat to create 4 new lots of record located at 110 Hummingbird Drive. The applicant is Nicholas Northcott. Mr. Luthi.
Yeah, this item that you see before you is proposing to create 4 new lots of record. 3 of those lots are going to be along East Lincoln Street. One of those lots, the larger one, the 3 lots on East Lincoln are about 1/3 of an acre in size. There's a larger lot that is 2.63 acres, lot 4. That lot has some existing structures on it, and that one has access, it looks like, via Hummingbird Lane. And that lot will remain in the back with the existing structures on it. And the 3 new lots, lots 1, 2, and 3, will be created along East Lincoln Street. All three of these lots will take access from East Lincoln Street. And there is a 20-foot private utility easement on Lot 3, but the setbacks have been adjusted to accommodate for that. That lot is also a corner lot, so it does have the reduced building envelope along Hummingbird Drive, so that 20-foot private utility easement is not a problem. The three lots that are being created are compliant with our zoning ordinance.
That kind of cutout that's on there is an existing lot.
Correct. That what you're seeing there, which is owned by a Butler, that is kind of that donut hole in the middle of the property, that is currently existing. That is not a modified part of this document. I did check that. That is how the lot is currently shown. That is not a new feature.
Okay. Any other questions on this one? I guess the only question I have is no issue with driveways there on East Lincoln. It's kind of a major street.
None that I know of. I did not receive comment from our Public Works Department. Okay. However, each driveway that they submit does have to get its own driveway permit, at which point Public Works will go out and inspect the plans that they have for the apron, the size and location of the culvert, if they need a pipe, and then where that driveway actually is. So there will be another set of checks when those driveways do get proposed.
Do a motion on this one?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion for approval and a second. Any other questions or discussion?
I had one other question. Okay. For this, do you know if there's, I was trying to quickly run through the notes, is there anything about, and you might have said it previously, but about backing out into the street, like they have to have a turnaround for the driveway?
In our requirements for the Public Works Department, their requirements for the driveways, they may have that. What our zoning ordinance states is that you cannot have a driveway situated so that a parked vehicle overhangs a sidewalk or the right-of-way. I mean, whether or not a turnaround is provided, I don't think we have specific language that a turnaround must be provided.
Okay.
But the driveways do have to be deep enough so that the vehicle does not overhang the sidewalk. But Public Works might have some more expansive language on the driveways and their construction.
Okay.
But that's all that our zoning ordinance discusses is the actual depth of the driveway. It doesn't call out for a turnaround.
Okay, thank you.
I think we talked about that a little bit in the last meeting for another similar thing, and if it is something that could be addressed either in our zoning or subdivision regulations, maybe that's something we need to look at going forward to check on that for major arterials or something, saying you can't do that. So, all right. Any other comments or questions? If not, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Third item under subdivision plats, a proposed final plat to create 3 new lots of record located at 112 Grosh Lane. The applicant is Nick Judkins. Mr. Luthi.
Yeah. This one before you is a request to make 3 new lots of record. These 3 lots are located along Grosh Lane. They are being subdivided out from a remaining 85.9 acre tract. Mr. Judkins has quite an expansive farm at this location, and he's looking to create 3 new lots of record. These lots have already had their soil areas defined, so the actual placement of the houses can be in such a way to not disturb the soil area. And these 3 lots are compliant with our subdivision regulations and our zoning ordinance. Each of the 3 lots will be 1 acre in size, and they will take access via Grosh Lane.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this one?
I have no. Well, the only question is where on the the little L or whatever we're calling it. Where is it actually at on the?
Yeah.
on
So
the
these
property?
are, if you see, I believe the location map is not 1 for 1.
Yeah.
I believe they are, if you're looking at Grosh Lane, do you see those 3 smaller lots to the north?
Yeah.
I believe it is just south of those.
Like where
Before
service is.
Grosh
Yeah.
Street.
Okay.
So in between Grosh Street and Lake Hills Road, they'll be right there.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Yeah, we got a second. If there's nothing else, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that motion carries 4-0 as well. Fourth item, a proposed final plat to create 4 new lots of record located at 451, is that Copperas? I never can remember how to pronounce that. Copperas Creek. The applicant is Nicholas Northcutt. Mr. Cooper.
I will defer to the applicant on this one. The applicant has notified me that they would like to request a deferral for this item. However, since I didn't receive the notice until one day before our meeting, our agenda locks 48 hours before, so the applicant will have to openly request that deferral
Okay,
instead of just having it removed.
go ahead.
The applicant requested deferral, please.
Okay. Do we have to vote on that?
No, you can just choose not to take an action.
Okay,
on
that
the
sounds
item.
fine to me. Thank you. And then our next section on site plans. So our first site plan item, number 1, a request for the Planning Commission to approve a site plan. The purpose of this site plan is to create a new quick-serve coffee restaurant. The applicant is Bob Gage, and the restaurant is Hubrew, Tennessee. And this is at 2102 North Jackson Street.
Yeah. This is a commercial site plan application to create a new quick serve coffee restaurant. This is going into the lot that currently has the advanced financial, the check cashing. That building will be demolished. The 7 Brew building will be constructed on that lot. The applicant has discussed and I believe gotten approval from TDOT already to utilize that existing driveway entrance for the 7 Brew locations. They will not have to create a new entrance. They can utilize the one that's already there. One side note on this one, the applicant is working with the property owner behind them to buy a small section of their property to accommodate the parking lot. In return, they're going to give the property behind them an access easement that will give them access to Jackson Street. Both of those I have reviewed, both the easement and the adjustment in the property line. However, the applicant wanted to make sure that the site plan would get approved before property exchanges hands, just to make sure everything is buttoned up in the site plan approval process. But we have pushed this through our development advisory committee. They have gotten a chance to look at it. There was a round of comments. The applicant addressed those comments satisfactorily. And those have been reflected in the DAC comments on the staff report. And so at this point, there are no more outstanding comments. And the site plan has been found to be compliant with all of our rules and regulations. So it's before you today.
So from the look at the site plan here, this is not a drive-through.
It is a drive.
It is drive-through. I was having trouble visualizing it here. Oh, that's the existing structure. I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Is there more than one drawing here?
So one question I had is, I guess the backside of that is Flowertown Road, and I was curious as far as the easement. Like, is it going to be like a from Flowertown Road to like through 7 Brew parking lot, or is it going to be like a private easement just to the theoretically the field?
So that easement is going to serve the parcel behind the 7 Brew parcel. It'll be their own driveway to access.
Okay, but no, theoretically no access connecting Flowertown. Like, I just want to.
At this time, no.
Okay.
That was kind of discussed with our public works department as putting a full connection in.
Yeah.
That's not the route that the applicant chose to take.
Okay, so it'll just be from the 7 Brew side.
It'll just be
Okay.
from Jackson Street to the parcel to the north of the 7 Brew site.
Okay.
And that at this time is just an easement. There's no proposed construction going on, no any changes. It's just giving access.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
I'm curious what is on that property behind it?
It's currently vacant.
Oh.
It just in order to give a chunk of the property to Seven Brew for their parking, they wanted access to Jackson Street in order to make that swap there. So they're giving up some section of their land for the Seven Brew client to utilize for their parking. Seven Brew is giving them an access easement off of Jackson.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve subject staff comments.
All right. We have a motion to approve subject to staff comments. We have a second. Any other discussion? If not, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Our second site plan item on the agenda is at 511 North Jackson Street site plan. A request for the Planning Commission to approve a site plan. The purpose of this site plan is to create a new bank building. The applicant is Carter Sane of Coffee County Bank.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Luthi.
This one used to be a car wash. There were actually 2 lots here. The applicant purchased both lots. They have combined those 2 lots into 1 lot. We actually reviewed the combination plat at our Development Advisory Committee, made sure that there were no issues, and that has been signed off on. So they have combined the 2 lots. They will be creating 1 lot out of that, and they will have a new bank building for Coffee County Bank that is going to be constructed on this site. Again, because this is on Jackson Street, a TDOT entrance permit will be required, and a permit is to be provided to the Public Works. If a traffic study is required by TDOT, provide the traffic study to Public Works. So for those TDOT entrance permits, all that we're checking for is that they have obtained the permit. We don't review the entrance plans that I know of. TDOT reviews those, and then TDOT lets us know if it is approved or not, and we just need that approval for all of these entrances that are on Jackson, for any TDOT road, that is. We do have some comments from Lyle, some recommendations for the landscaping. I don't know if they have complied with that or not, but those are just recommendations. Sometimes what is required and what is best are 2 different things. So sometimes there's some different plant species that we can substitute out that still meet the requirement but might be better suited for what we're doing. And staff recommends approval of the site plan with the included development advisory comments.
I can't get my diagram to pull up on my tablet here, but is there a side street access there as well? If it's the place I'm thinking about, there's a side street as well, right?
Let me pull up that site plan for you.
We're talking about the alley.
I just couldn't remember which.
Isn't it a side?
No, well,
Oh.
there's
It
looks
Blackwell
like from-
Street.
So
but then
the
there's
Blackwell
proposed
Street.
bank
Just a
will
alley.
have
Okay.
a inlet and outlet on North Jackson Street.
Okay.
It will have an inlet and an outlet onto Walnut Alley. It will have an inlet and outlet, an inlet and a left turn and right turn outlet onto Blackwell Street.
Okay. I thought there was a third street in there somewhere. So okay.
The looks like the drive-through teller lanes will run parallel with Jackson Street and will allow you to exit onto Blackwell Street, and there are right and left turn lanes onto Blackwell Street to accommodate that through traffic.
Okay. Any other questions?
I had one on Blackwell Street. I'm trying to look. I'm going through the different maps. Do you know if there's any proposed sidewalks for Blackwell Street, at least for the property?
I do see there is existing sidewalk to remain on Jackson. I do not see any sidewalk on Blackwell.
Did
It is all asphalt. So there will be asphalt areas, I guess, that could be walked on.
Or I guess, I'm trying to think. I just didn't know if the whole Blackwell Street frontage was going to be asphalt or if it was going to be some grass or... I can't tell what that part is. That's what I was just curious on.
So there is sod. If you look at the site plan, the hatched Inside of the property boundary is
Oh, there we go.
sod.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see it now.
Outside of the property line is that asphalt for Blackwell Street.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve subject to staff comments.
We have a motion to approve, subject to staff comments. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that site plan is approved. And then our third section of the agenda is rezoning requests, and we have several of those. Our first one is at 401 Lehman Street, a request for the Planning Commission to provide comment to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen regarding the rezoning of 401 Lemons. Is it Lemons or Lemons? The applicant is Vernon Cole, 401. Mr. Luther.
Yes, this is a property. If you look at the location map, I have talked to this applicant several times. He owns the two parcels there that kind of form a triangle. One's at 401 Le Mans, and the other one is just to the south of it. He owns the third parcel that is the one up against the undeveloped alley, one block north of East Grundy Street. The one up against Grundy Street is zoned R2. The other two that he has are zoned R1. The surrounding parcels that he is next to are R2, R4, and R3. This section of the city, and then to the north is agriculture. That's the Anderson Farms everyone wants to discuss. In looking at the surrounding properties, R2 is a more dominant zoning in this part of town. The applicant is requesting a rezone from R1 to R2. There is a second parcel for consideration to rezone a couple items down that is the neighboring parcel to this one. In the applicant's application, he noted that he owns three parcels all connecting and they're not zoned the same. My desire is to have them all zoned the same. This parcel, the one we're currently looking at, is his primary place of residence. I have no immediate plans to change its current state. However, I would like the zoning updated for future development opportunities. The majority of my neighborhood is currently zoned for R2.
Any comments or questions? So this is the one. It's set. It's down at the end of Lamont Street.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say the stuff next to it is zoned R2, how close is next to it?
If you look at the zoning map, I
it.
can measure the exact distance. But the nearest R2 zoned parcel would be the one owned by the applicant.
So he's up.
And so it'd be neighboring
He
it.
owns this and that.
Okay.
He owns a parcel that is right adjacent to this one that is currently zoned R2.
He wants to make this R2.
Right to match
Okay.
that one.
All right. All right. Any other questions or comments? Do a motion to approve? Or give a favorable recommendation?
Oh, yeah.
Andy's going to eventually he's going to get me trained over there.
Motion to send a favorable recommendation.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a second on that. Any other comments on that?
I have one question for
okay,
Mr.
sure.
Luthi. The fact that it adjoins open space, does that have any bearing at all?
So it does adjoin a parcel that is zoned agriculture. That open space parcel that you see next to it,
That's not a factor in any way, is all I was...
no, I don't think it would. I mean, we don't have much open space that we utilize here in the city, but I don't foresee it being an issue. I mean, it's kind of in that hybrid area where it is touching the R2, and then this is the R1, and then north of it is agriculture and more R1. However, this area where it sets, it still has the established right-of-ways and alleys and all the gridding of the R2 area, but it's zoned R1 and is right up against that open space.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries 4-0. Our second one is at 700 South Washington Street, a request for the Planning Commission to provide comment to the Board, Mayor, and Alderman regarding the rezoning of 700 South Washington Street. The applicant is Susan Baker. And what's the rezoning? Well, you can tell us, yeah.
Yeah, the applicant would like to seek to rezone this property from I1 to C2. This building is currently utilized by the Coffee County Association for Retarded Citizens. This building has been an office building for quite some time. It has not been used industrially for as long as I can find. The applicant would like to help the owner of this property lease it out. The building is currently set up for offices. It has cubicles, offices. It is an office building. However, because of its zoning, it can't be used for offices. It's industrial. For manufacturing and warehousing, which is not aligned for the use of the building, and it hasn't aligned for the use of the building for quite some time. So the applicant would like to request a rezone so that property can be rezoned to C2, so it can be rented out as offices, and a client could rent that and actually utilize the building for offices without having to make significant modifications to the building to make it usable.
Okay. Any questions on that one?
No.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Linda Duncan, and I live at 321 South Polk Street, Tullahoma. We have owned the property there for since 1922, and mainly I'm not here to contest the rezoning. And I want to ask the question before I say anything else. Is this rezoning from, it just seems to me that it would be from industrial to commercial, that it would be more residentially friendly.
Mr. Luther, you want to comment on that? I mean,
And-
I think that's
let me
right,
just
but
give some background on that. I currently am, and I'm not really sure what the property next to 320 across the street from 321 South Polk Street is rezoned as, but it's a distributing company and has been for more than 20 years.
The property
I purchased
rezoning
the
is
property
right
over
here.
on Washington Street
That's what I
next to the
thought.
skills center. And that's why what my interest is when I
purchased the property.
will the property is commercial zoning
Yeah, the skill
more
center's there.
residentially friendly than industrial,
Which is
because the where I am currently on Polk Street,
Street.
it has been a nightmare for 20 years.
We're on
And I would like to
710
bring
South
this
Washington.
issue
Yeah.
to the
So
attention
this is
of
the
the
building
city,
that we're.
oh, okay.
because there are a lot of residential owners that have property where there's being industrial and commercial property, allowed to come in too with little restriction. And just a few of the things that I've experienced since I have been across the street from a distributing company is pretty much almost 24-hour 18-wheeler truck activity.
Yes, ma'am.
I have come in from work, I'm retired now, but I have come in from work and found 18-wheelers in the yard up to my hedges that are only 4 feet away from my house. And they would come in during the night, routinely on 7 days a week, and would sit and idle with the motor on, and it just rumbles the entire house. I have also gone out in the morning and come back and not be able to get into my home, and having to go to work, because an 18-wheeler had run into a guide wire and ripped my circuit box right through the external wall into a yard with live wires everywhere and onlookers up and down the street, and I couldn't even get in my home and had to leave my home for 2 weeks while it was repaired. And the distributing company simply offered me the excuse that it's the vendors, it's not us, and gave me no help in tracking the vendors down. I mean, other than what was visibly there. And I had to talk to the vendors. I had to track everything down. I mean, you know, it was just a nightmare in logistics that I didn't have time to do. Not only that, but the first 2 or 3 times that my electrical service was discontinued was because they ripped, apparently someone didn't, I don't know where the fault lies, but some of the wiring was just too low.
Yeah.
For them to, and they knocked it out several times, and there I was in the dark not knowing what had happened. And one time they knocked it out when I had broken my ankle, and and my family had gone on vacation to California, and I had no one to help me, and was without a phone for 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. So this property we're looking at now, so is this the same building that the skilled services was in, or are they still there?
They're not there anymore.
That's
They
what I
want to
thought.
lease it out, but
Yeah.
they want to lease it to an office client that will use it the same way it's been used.
So
It will not be industrial.
That would not be trucks and stuff.
It would be
was not
9 to
industrial.
5 offices,
And
personal cars.
the roastery next door to there. What is that zoned?
I think it's all one there.
Yeah, that whole area.
Is it industrial?
Yes.
Well, but then we got the Baptist church right there next to it. Surely that's not industrial. Well, I guess it could be.
And as I said, I'm not here to contest it. I just want to bring some attention to this matter, because even as early as Thanksgiving a year ago, I had to move out of my house again because they again knocked my electricity out, and when they hit the post that had the wiring connected to my house, I was inside my house and my whole house just shakes. You know, I have no idea how much damage has been done to my home that is unseen.
I appreciate that, and
And
we can
I would
talk
like
about
to
that a
bring
little
up
more.
because
We can talk about that a little more and see if there's something that we need to be doing around that facility to keep the trucks from being in that area. So
Well, I would like to say that in the past, I have had no help from some of the administration that was here in place, but the current administration has at least shown empathy. And they did come out and they put a lot of signs there across the yard to keep that, almost makes it impossible for them to come up in the
yeah, that's what I
yard.
was going to say. We need to.
They're very crafty. The drivers just aren't really, they appear not to be that skilled. The overwhelming number of them. You know, there's some that everybody says that they should be able to get in and out of those ports, but there's not a lot of room, and the good ones can do it, but most of them are just not the good ones.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate that. All right. Well, I'll try to look into that a little more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on this property? I think everybody's familiar with it. All right. Do we have a motion on it?
Motion to send a favorable recommendation.
Okay.
I second.
All right. So we have a motion to send a favorable recommendation and a second. If there's no other question, let's vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? All right, that motion carries 4-0. Thank you, ma'am. Then number 3, 1809 Old Estill Springs Road rezone request. A request for the Planning Commission to provide comment to the Board of Mayor and Alderman regarding the rezoning of 1809 Old Estill Springs Road. The applicant is Tennessee Apparel Corporation.
Yeah, there is 6.5 acres on a piece of property that the Tennessee Apparel Corporation owns. They would like to sell those 6.5 acres to a property owner to the north who owns a residential lot, and they would like to buy those 6.5 acres. Before they want to buy those, they want to make sure that it would be zoned residential and not zoned industrial. So they're seeking to get that 6.5 acres rezoned, at which point they will buy it, and that purchase agreement will be accepted once that rezoning request has gone in. If you're looking at the map and you see Clark Lane, the property owner is that house number 203 Clark Lane. They're buying a chunk of 1809, I think it's technically 1805, Old Estill Springs Road, along the northern edge of that, and that'll be added on to that residential property. One thing to note, that residential property is in our UGB, so if those parcels are combined, part of their property would be in the UGB, part of their property would be in the city limits.
Okay. Does that pose us any particular difficulty?
Not that I know of. I have not talked to City Hall and how taxes or any of that works for these half in, half out parcels. I know that when we are considering them, we have to be mindful of what parts are in the city limits and what parts are not. I have not actually had to deal with any of these properties yet.
Does the city limit line run through an existing lot there now, or will we be creating a lot that does that?
Well, they have not requested a subdivision
So it's
yet.
just rezoning. So the lot's pre-existing.
The lot exists, but if the property is sold, I don't know if they're going to combine it with their lot. Because the new lot that will be created will be entirely within the city limits.
Yeah.
If they then combine those lots or dissolve that lot line or leave them separate, that's up to them in the Register of Deeds.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it poses a real issue with taxes, in that the property taxes are assessed on usage, not zoning. So, all right. Anyone have any other questions or comments about that one?
I'm curious about the access to the lot that may be transferred. It's only through the Tennessee Apparel property, correct?
So right now,
I wonder
what
why they
I
want
have
it.
is a request to rezone, and they've indicated a property line adjustment to move the property line. Now, whether or not they decide to create a new lot or leave it rezoned, I don't have anything from them yet. All I have is a request to rezone, so I don't know what they intend, if they're going to subdivide or if they're just going to adjust the property line and have it be part of that Clark Lane parcel. I don't know how they're going to transfer the actual land. I haven't gotten that information yet.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Well, last thing. So looking at the actual this view, there's like a building on 1805, or I don't know if you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So is that still Tennessee, or like this is part of the property, correct? Or am I looking at it?
So there's 1805 is kind of L-shaped.
Yeah.
And 203 Clark Lane is that property to the north of it.
Yeah.
Then they're going to move the property line south or subdivide out. I'm not sure how. And they're going to absorb that into that residential property.
So that whatever that building is there at 1805.
That'll stay there up against Old Estill Springs Road.
But I guess my question is it still being used as a...
I believe so. When I went out there to place signs for this meeting, there were trucks and cars and traffic, so I assume that they're still utilizing it.
So, and I guess where I'm confused is because technically this is all theoretical as far as they want to make sure it gets to R1 before they buy it or whatever, correct? But and then of course the property lines might change, but if we rezone this whole, like this little L plot to R1, then is that building there that's being used out of compliance at that point?
So the whole property is not being rezoned, just a 6.5 acre strip along the north of it is.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, not the whole property is going to remain I-1 under Tennessee Apparel.
Just a little...
Just a strip along the northern
gotcha.
property edge
Okay, sorry.
is going to be rezoned and then sold to that property owner.
All right, thanks for clarifying.
So we're rezoning a portion of an existing lot,
Correct.
but that doesn't require being subdivided first?
No, the applicant can request a rezoning of an existing lot without...
But my question is, are we rezoning the entire lot or just a portion of the lot?
Just a portion.
That seems a little odd, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
what defines the portion that's rezoned and what's not.
Yeah, so you'll have to, I mean, I suppose you got a line there that we're rezoning on.
Yes, and it should have
least a
been
survey or
included in the application, but there was a drawing that I received with this that showed which section was going to be subdivided out.
But if they do sell it, it would have to be subdivided at that point, right?
So I believe at this
Split
time,
to a new lot.
I haven't received any concrete applications yet, but I think they're going to adjust the property line. Just do a
So they
boundary
would
line
just swap,
adjustment.
but that's my point. It would still be a change in the actual property line. The lot
Correct.
line would move.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Did you have a comment? or you
The application,
Yeah.
it's going to be the entire parcel.
The entire
So
parcel.
I was just confused. In the middle of the page.
She's right about that. But then it's got parcel numbers. It says, do you wish to rezone the entire parcel? It says yes.
Yes, and
Or maybe they just think they need to do it all so that they can do that piece. Is the applicant here? You want to address? You're welcome to come up and help clarify this for us.
Thank you.
Make sure we understand the question. Yes, sir.
And my goal is to take a piece of the property that is now zoned industrial property and rezone it to residential property.
Yeah.
And there are no buildings on that.
Yeah.
On that piece, that's 6.5 acres. And there's no plans, Mr. Francis has no plans on expanding his industrial operation on that specific road. So, at this point, the desire is to change it to residential property.
Yes, I understand that. So then, do you need the entire lot rezoned to accomplish the 6 acres you're talking about?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, Mr. Francis, he doesn't want to do that. He
Okay.
doesn't want to sell the whole lot.
Yeah. Just wanted, because on the application, somebody checked yes, rezone
Yeah.
the whole lot, and that's why we're asking.
The whole 6.5 acre lot. I think that's.
So what's the size of the lot that we're talking about rezoning, Samuel?
6.5 acres.
So the whole 6.5 acres. So it is a separate lot then.
So I think part of the confusion is the lot that we're discussing. There was a sale agreement drawn up for the applicant to purchase 6.5 acres of Tennessee Apparel's property.
Yeah.
There's a drawn up. I have it. Why it was not in. I apologize for it not being in your packets. But there is a 6.5 acre section. It is 1,186 feet by 241 feet deep. That runs along that property boundary between Tennessee Apparel and the applicant's property.
Okay.
That section is what is being purchased. There's a boundary line adjustment that's going to adjust that property line or further south. However, when the applicant's discussing the parcel that's being rezoned, it's that 6.5 chunk
Okay,
that was
I think I understand.
agreed upon. So I think that
So when they said the whole thing, they mean the whole thing of what they're going to purchase.
of what he's
Right.
buying.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is
That-
this property beside Tennessee
Kind of
Apparel, or is it
behind,
behind it,
Behind
like where the
Tennessee.
parking lot is?
Way north of Tennessee Apparel.
Okay.
So
I think
behind
something
some
about like
vacant land.
What is there? Is it covered
used to work
trees
there,
now?
so I
Isn't
was
it? From
looking
the-
like
what it looks like on the map.
like the wooded area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
it's wooded.
parking. That's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah, I drove out
he's
there and I
up
look
right
at these
here.
properties
He's
when
on
they go
Clark,
for it.
so
There's
it'd be
nothing
probably-
there.
I think I
He's
understand now.
right
Just
there. Okay.
I'm
Would-
slow.
Okay.
I'm slow on the uptake sometimes. So.
Okay.
Wouldn't it make more sense for Tennessee Apparel to make the subdivision than sell the lot that they divided off?
So the difficulty with that is that if they cut off the lot and subdivide it, that lot has to be given legal access. So you have some difficulties there with if you create a standalone lot of record, you can have some issues because of what has to go in to make it a legal lot. This is not ever intended to be a legal lot. It's intended to be appended to Mr. Knutsen's property.
I understand.
So it's a moving of the boundary, as you said. I didn't understand that before.
Yeah. All right, everybody straight on it now?
Yeah.
Do we have a motion?
I like it.
Yeah.
I move that we send a favorable recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah, second.
We have a second on that. Any other discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, sir. Okay. Number 4 is at Toole Street.
Yes.
0 Toole Street rezone request. A request to provide comment to the Board of Mayor and Alderman regarding the rezoning of 0 Toole Street. The applicant is Vernon Cole.
This is the neighboring property to 401 Lamont that we discussed earlier. This one is kind of a mirror image of this property, and it sits just further south. It already has the right-of-way and alleys dedicated on, or not dedicated, but shown on it. And the applicant is seeking to rezone this one as R2 as well, for that possible development potential.
Just for clarification on the agenda, it's showing the same plat as before.
Yeah, it should be 0 Toole Street. It's just when I put 0 Toole
Yeah.
Street into our GIS, since this parcel has never been developed on and has not been addressed, you can't look it up and get the map to use it. So I have to use the neighboring one, which is 401 Lamont, for it to pull up. But it is 0 Toole Street.
So like this one.
It's
Still
that
same
is
thing.
401 Lamont,
Yeah.
and then the one next to it, that's Toole Street.
Okay. The one abutting or like beside the Discourse Golf and East Middle
Yes.
School property. Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to get the idea in my head too. Any other questions or comments on it? I just want to see where it's at.
This one is right next to the.
Yeah, I was just trying to visualize it. So, oh yeah, it doesn't. Never mind. I don't know where that went. Somewhere on the other side of the world. I'll just give up on that. All right, I know it's close enough. Any other comments or questions on this one? Do we have a motion?
Motion to send a favorable recommendation.
I
Do
second.
we have a second on that? All right. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries 4-0. And then our final rezone request at number 5, 0 Jean Drive. Request to provide comment to Board Mayor and Alderman regarding the rezoning of 0 Jean Drive. The applicant is Nicholas Northcott.
This is a request that is out in the Franklin County UGB. I have received several letters from residents that live around the subdivision that would like to have made public comment but could not be at the meeting today. So I would like to distribute those to you now.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see this. That's the same one again. I got twice. Okay. Y'all let me know when you're done looking at the comments and we'll ask for staff comments.
Suggesting the access through Deer Creek rather than
Sounds like
off of
it.
Dean.
Or to add one. Add an access.
That seems like a legitimate concern about that many houses trying to exit here on
Yeah.
Dean.
Let's see what the rules
I
are here.
guess that's the
Yeah.
build out
Yes.
he's talking about.
Yeah. Everybody finished reading the comments? Mr. Luthi.
Yeah. This application before you is for a rezoning request in the Franklin County urban growth boundary. Applicant is seeking to rezone the property from A agriculture to R1 residential. The section of the property that is to be rezoned is only 10 acres. That 10 acres is about the bottom half of the parcel up against Jean Drive. It does not include the parcel up against Deer Creek. The applicant is looking to rezone this property. So because the land is vacant, not being farmed, it lies immediately adjacent to Hunters Creek subdivision, which is zoned R1. Purpose of the rezoning is to allow a similar subdivision to be developed on the 10.1 acres. So far, we have not seen any plans for a subdivision. We've just seen the application for rezoning.
So the land just to the north of Deer Creek, is that all the same owner or is that a separate owner? Is that 44 acres above? Is that what that's showing?
So that 44 is the parcel number.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That is a 25-acre parcel. The area that is highlighted blue is the actual section
Right.
to be rezoned.
Gotcha.
The
There's
whole
Deer
property is
So that's the-
under the same ownership.
So there's no
He just wants to
access.
rezone only 10 acres of it.
I'm sorry. Could you say that last bit again?
He only wants to rezone 10 acres of that 25-acre parcel.
Okay, but my question is it all the same owner?
Correct.
Okay.
It's one parcel.
Yeah. So what would our subdivision regs say about adding that many houses there? Is there issues there with access and secondary access and all that sort of thing?
So while the regulations for access is done by our fire department, and so I'll leave that to Nick. And I may be mistaken, but I believe he said that the minimum or maximum number of homes you can have on a subdivision is 30 before you need another access point.
Okay.
Part of the difficulty with that, especially with this one, is do we analyze this on a per subdivision basis? In which case, this is only 10 acres and it is R1, so it's at max going to be 25, 28 homes. Or do we look at it at a everything surrounding it basis? And that I'm not sure. I don't know what the IFC states for calculating that number. I know what the number is. I don't know if it looks at all the surrounding areas or if it's just the actual subdivision itself. That I'm not sure. However, what I do know is that if this were to be subdivided, it would come back before the Planning Commission and would have to get subdivision plat approval. So you would see it again if this were to be subdivided.
Okay. So, but under that theory of the houses, number of houses, that whole subdivision's already kind of overbooked.
The other thing that kind of, I don't want to say bothers me, I'm not saying it's being done here, but it's like skirting the 30 house rule if you do 30 or less, 30 or less, 30 or less.
Right.
And then you don't have to, I don't know.
So we've had a total of 8 already. Is that the way I read that in the public comments? Is that correct? I don't remember voting on this in August, but maybe I did. Somebody made a comment in their comments that we approved 4 on the 18th of August, 2025.
I think that's correct me if I'm wrong, but it might be that 80, which is hard to see, like 87 or...
Maybe that's the 4.
There's 2 houses in the
Yeah.
front and 2 houses in the back.
Yeah. I certainly don't remember voting on a flag lot like that.
Like they're still under construction. Well, when this was taken.
Let's see.
How long has this subdivision been in existence?
The one on Jean Drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a few years, I think, because there's somebody I know lives down there, and I don't think they've moved in a long time.
Another concern is there's no fire hydrant.
I think we
It's
need
all-
further clarification from the fire department
Mm-hmm.
about the burden on Jean Drive.
I would also say Public Works potentially as well, maybe. Well, no, Public Works, they wouldn't service it because it's UGB, right?
Right.
But yeah, fire department for sure.
Is this in the UGB?
Correct.
So who services fire there?
Again, without Mr. Kimbrough being present, I can't speak with certainty. But even in the county, I believe that our fire and police and EMS do respond out in the county.
Yeah.
So we still service those areas, even though they're not within the city limits. Our fire and police do service those areas.
Is the applicant here? No, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. There you are. You have any comments on access to this lot and overburdening the neighborhood?
Well, as I don't have any plans for a subdivision and I have no direct knowledge of how many they're planning, I can't really
Okay.
speak to that. I do know, and I did speak to the owner, that he just wanted it to be congruent with that subdivision south of it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, so did staff have a recommendation one way or the other on this? I can't remember if you gave us one
So-
in the beginning.
With this one, part of because this would come back before the planning commission if it were to be rezoned, and if it were to subdivide, you would get a chance to review it again. If the area is determined to be too burdened and an extra connection is made, the applicant does own the entire parcel that connects to Deer Creek. So if the applicant wanted, there could be a through connector road that would give another access to the subdivision. I personally don't have any recommendation on whether or not to or to not approve the rezoning, but I do think that if this were to be rezoned, I don't think we would be kind of closing the door on Gene Drive. I think we would have another chance to review that subdivision and may be able to provide some relief in the discussions around that subdivision of what we are going to require from the applicant in order to comply with our fire requirements.
And we would have the authority to do that.
Correct. That is in the urban growth boundary. So the regional part of the Municipal Regional Planning Commission gives you authority over planning commission matters in the urban growth boundary, which a subdivision plat would be a planning matter. So you would have authority, and our subdivision regulations, fire code, and zoning ordinance would apply to that.
But theoretically, couldn't they, like, if I'm just making theoreticals, if they did 20 houses there and they met, like, theoretically it would just meet code and away it goes, like it.
So,
which I don't know how many could fit in that lot, but
I'm not sure of the exact method that the fire department uses to determine when a fire access or an extra road is required. I know that the general rule of thumb is 30 houses, but that rule, there are multiple steps to that determination. I don't have it in front of me. I can talk to Nick Kimbrough here in the next couple of days and get an answer. But there are more checks than just are there 30 or less houses. There's more review that goes on. And so if this were to be subdivided, it would have to get approval from Nick. And it would go before him to look at that. And we get reviewed.
Could you clarify, Mr. Luthi, what Franklin County would do with this if we send the recommendation?
So if you send a recommendation, positive or negative, it goes to the Franklin County, to their full commission. The county commission then gets to make their decision to either rezone it or not. If they do rezone it, it's rezoned. If not, they don't. If it receives a negative recommendation from you, it still goes before them, and they're able to rezone it or not.
They could override,
Yeah.
disregard the recommendation.
Just like with our board of mayor and aldermen, this is just a recommendation. You make a recommendation to the board of mayor and aldermen, and they receive that as part of the information, and they're able to either approve or deny the agenda item. This would also go before the Franklin County Commission, and they could either approve or deny.
Okay.
It wouldn't be their fire department, though, that responds.
I'm not sure how the mutual aid agreement shakes out with Franklin County. Again, I don't.
Mr. Worsham?
I believe we do have a mutual aid agreement with Franklin County, and they would be the first responders if there were a fire. I would believe, but I'm not sure. I would believe it would be the Franklin County Fire Department that would make the determination eventually if a subdivision were to be proposed out there as to whether or not there are any requirements for extra access to the property. So I think we're safe if you want to approve rezoning, and I'm not in favor of it or against it, but I think we're safe that eventually that kind of protection would be provided in the final development of this property.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone want to hazard a motion? Nobody wants to make a motion at all.
I mean, there's some legitimate concerns.
There are.
We haven't discussed the drainage problems,
Yeah.
and who would have to deliberate on that besides us?
Well, it would be the same thing, right? As part of the subdivision, they'd have to bring proof that they've solved drainage issues.
And I would like to advise this is a rezoning request.
Right.
You can make a positive or negative recommendation for any reason if you, for whatever you feel. why you want to make that recommendation, you can. You don't have to find
Right.
a cited source as to why it's denied.
I'm a coin flip on this one. I don't
Well,
know.
if anybody
Is-
does anybody have a motion, because I will motion.
Go ahead.
I'll motion to send an unfavorable recommendation.
And do we want to attach any reasons to it,
For
just for the sake of people understanding why we did what we did?
and I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but just for me, it's like the general safety of the area in the sense of just fire and traffic and yeah, we'll stick with that for now.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have a second for that?
I'll second
All right.
for the same reasons also.
Any other discussion? I guess my only comment, I'm sorry, you go ahead. I was going to say, I guess my only comment is, have we left the owner with any options to come back and make a different kind of request to get a good development here if they can do that?
I think through the discussions we've had and through the comments that have been made, I think that if the applicant was choosing to rezone the entire parcel that made a connecting road from Deer Creek to Jean Drive,
Or even a
more-
partial that would get him there?
correct, made it more apparent that that was the intent, I feel like it would be much easier to get a favorable recommendation than rezoning only a smaller portion that does not leave that potential for connection.
Deer Creek is not a public road.
It's even harder.
See, my map must be out of spec.
Are we in a situation with this where we're rezoning part of a plot,
Correct.
like the one we discussed before?
Yeah. So that's a private drive, basically?
Deer Creek?
Yes. I know the tax map shows it's public, but it isn't. People can't get building permits out there.
There's 3 houses on that road.
5, 6,
4, 5,
7.
6, 7. There's access to 7 properties, but it's not a public road.
Correct, and they won't let anyone else build out there right now because it's not a public road.
When you say they,
I would have to clarify with
the owners?
The property owners own their own road. It's like a long driveway, and they all sharing it, maintenance of it. Well, that makes it even harder then.
It does.
All right. Any other comments? Did you have a comment or question you were about to speak a moment ago? If not, let's vote on the motion to send an unfavorable recommendation to the Franklin County Commission. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Did you say unfavorable?
Unfavorable.
yes,
Yeah,
aye, sorry.
Yeah. I was repeating your motion. If I got it wrong,
Yeah,
let me know.
sorry, I was looking at one
So
thing.
aye. Anyone opposed? All right, so that motion carries. All right, so that's the end of the Planning Commission agenda. Now we have, yes,
Meetings from last month and the agenda for this month.
so that would have been a non-agenda item that I asked for public comment at the beginning of the meeting.
Before, I didn't know it was an issue because if you said old business and you said there is no old business to move forward, I apologize, but that kind of left me on the spot.
All right, go ahead, make public comment.
Yes, sir. My name is Paige Howard. I'm representative of Mr. Joe Gentini. Last December meeting, he had a rezoning request for East Deckard Street that was deferred to this month, but it was no longer on the meeting when I got here.
We deferred,
I think we voted on that, didn't we, first?
The meeting minutes from last month said we all deferred it to today.
I remember deferring something.
Is
but
that where the
why?
applicant
Is
wasn't
that
here?
incorrect?
Because I think we had 2
Yes,
where the
that
applicant
was
wasn't here.
deferred. I forgot to put that on the agenda. I apologize.
Okay,
Oh.
so do we, can we deal with it now, or can we?
Yes, it's tabled, so the item is still active from the last meeting.
Ma'am, what was the property address there?
It was East Deckard Street, sir. There's no
Yep.
911 address. I have the tax and personal.
Yeah, I remember kind of that.
Mm-mm.
We
It's
forgot to
just
put it on the agenda. So we probably need to make a motion to add it to the agenda. Can we get a motion to add it to the agenda?
Can we do that?
Can we do that right now?
Well, it's our agenda. We can always
Okay.
make a motion to add something to the agenda. We have to have a 2/3 vote, but I think fairness says we ought to do that.
I'm looking for the.
Do you have the previous agenda pack?
That's pulled
Yeah,
up
I've got
on
it
the
pulled
side.
up here.
So this is not the 0 East Deckard Street.
This is a rezone request.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. We have 2 active rezones and 2 active subdivisions for 0 East Deckard Street.
Yeah.
So this is another 0 East Deckard
It
Street.
just means they haven't signed it.
Tax map and parcel numbers, Coffee County, map 124M, Group A, parcel 009.
Okay.
As a request to rezone from C2 to C3.
So can we just have a motion to add that to the agenda?
So, well, the only question is, so even though it's tabled, it's fine because I saw it was like public hearing. I just didn't know if that mattered.
So it was tabled at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Which means it's automatically included on this agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
I failed to put it on the agenda because I already saw the 0 East Deckard. Thought it was already on there,
Yeah.
but there was
Yeah,
another
yeah.
0 East Deckard.
Yeah, I got it.
Was
Got it.
this table due to the incompletion of the application?
No, it
It's
just
tabled due to the applicant not being present.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So I guess we don't even really have to make a motion on that. Then it should have been on the agenda, but we need to put that in the minutes somehow.
I think it needs to be a motion.
Let's just do a motion to be
Okay.
safe. So
Well, I motion to
add it to the agenda.
re-add it to the agenda from the December meeting, the D number 1 0 East Deckard Street rezone request.
Okay. We need a second on that.
Second.
And this would require 2/3 vote if you're adding the agenda after you've already approved the agenda. So we need 4 votes. No, we need 3 votes. I guess 2/3 would get us 3 votes. Anyway, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So put it on the agenda just to cover ourselves. Mr. Luthi, you got to.
Yeah, this is an item request to rezone a property located at 0 East Deckard Street. This property is currently zoned C2. The applicant would like to have it rezoned to C3. Coffee County tax map parcel numbers 124M, Group A, parcel 009.
Hey, ma'am, could you talk about why you wanted to go to C3? I think I know, but remind me.
Unfortunately, we were unable to go to residential R1, so we'd like to go to C3 to put a single-story family unit house there.
Okay. I thought I remembered. Any questions or discussions on that?
This is not the same lot that we just subdivided?
No,
Okay.
It's a little further down.
I was trying to look real quick on the last.
these ones
agenda.
are, both lots are on the same road, 0 East Deckard Street. One is Ryan Denby, one is Joe Denby.
Oh,
So I apologize for not putting it on the agenda. It's a lot of the same, so I got a little confused there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it-
Make a motion
I was
for-
just, he
was
looked like
pulling
he was
up
looking
the-
for
I was trying to.
trying to pull it up.
Pull it up,
You can see
mhm.
it.
There's
I don't
only
have it on my tablet, so.
a couple.
My phone would only let me go so far on this agenda. I know it's not going to pull up less.
No, it's East Lincoln. Sorry, I'm going
Like
as
say-
fast as I'm scrolling as fast as I
No,
can.
that's okay.
This is where paper's better.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. All right. Do we have a motion? Send a favorable record. This is a rezone request, right? Yeah.
Oh, favorable recommendation or
Yeah.
motion to send a favorable
Yeah.
recommendation. Sorry.
second.
Second.
So-
Okay. Sorry.
Second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On the opposed? Sorry about the difficulty. I misunderstood what you were asking me. If I'm going to go somebody. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So that brings us to Board Zoning Appeals. I can pull that one up.
I can find.
I've got it, and I think I can read this one. So all we have is a reading and approval of the minutes. So that we've called that meeting to order. Board of Zoning Appeals, and item number 2 on the agenda, read and approve the minutes from the December 15th Board of Zoning Appeals meetings. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then for some reason, approval of the agenda comes after that. So let's vote to approve the agenda so that we don't mess anything up. So do we have a
Motion to
motion?
approve.
Do we have a second on
Second.
that? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's no old business, no new business, and so we are adjourned. Thank y'all for
Something to
suffering.
mention.
Thank y'all.